And it's funny because this book came about. I was going through a very, very dark time in my life. I was just really depressed, really in depression.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I learned about when I used to go to like depression, like workshops and stuff like that, they
Uh-huh.
told me to keep a journal, to write a journal, just to express your thoughts. And
Yeah.
just sometimes you have to vent. You can't vent to people. Sometimes you just have to write your thoughts out, write whatever's on your mind, just get it out.
Yeah.
And I started earlier this year, I just started writing a journal and I just started expressing how I was feeling, what I was going through
Yeah.
in my journal.
Hmm.
And it amazed me right now because as I was going through that journal, as I was expressing my thoughts and just getting it out of my head,
Uh,
I soon realized that God was trying to tell me something.
yeah.
God was leading me to say, look, this could be life changing for other people. What you're going through, Kenyon, could help impact the lives of other people. So why not create this journal into a book?
Yeah.
And that's how the book came about. It's like God told me, you know what? Even though you're writing down your thoughts, you just want to get your thoughts out. You need to turn this into a book because your story, your feelings, your emotions right now that you're expressing could
Hmm.
help shape the lives of other people, could help motivate other people, could help inspire and encourage other people that may be going through the same thing that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
So that's how the book came about. And before you know it, man, I had written what 3 or 4 chapters within the course of a couple of weeks
Hmm.
because it was just flowing. Everything was just flowing out of me. It's like God was feeding me everything that I need to get out, and the way it was coming out. And after I would go back and reread everything that I'd written, I was like, wow, this is actually changing my life. I feel like I'm changing as I'm writing this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about, man. And I'm just so excited because of the reviews that the book has been getting so far. So
Hmm.
many people has been impacted already by it, man. And it's just I'm like, wow, I can't believe this actually, because I had no plans of doing a book. It
Yeah.
never hit me to be writing a book, and
Hmm.
I'm just grateful that God gave me that vision.
Yeah. So, what is being reborn? Someone who went through my struggles. I talk about in my book how I was, on the 10 freeway, pushing my car by myself, and at that moment, I realized I need to take total responsibility for my life. But what
Right.
was that transformation? What was that clicked? What was it that changed? What was it that made you reborn? And how can someone else model that so that they can go to the next level like you did?
You know what? What brought that change on was the realization that I was not happy with the man that I had became
Hmm.
because of the life that I was living, the people that I were affecting in a negative way,
Uh-huh.
um, and the things that were going on. The disappointments and the hopelessness and the depression and all these different things that I was going through at the time. I just was so unhappy of the man that I had become, and I said, you know what? This needs to end right now.
Yeah.
I need to be I need to be reinvented. I need to redefine myself. I need Lord, I need you to strip me of everything that is not of you right now.
Yeah.
I need it out of me. I need it to be released. I don't want it no more. I don't want to be this person anymore. I just want to just start over, start my life over, and just be reborn again. I want to die to myself and be a better version of myself.
Yeah.
So I just had to come to that realization and make that decision finally. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? This is how I'm going to go about it.
Yeah.
And I just had to stay committed. I had to get disciplined. I
Yeah.
had to stay committed to the goal, to the mission. And I just had, you just said it, I had to totally have a mind transformation. I
Hmm.
had to totally transform everything. I had to start all over, start fresh, and transform my mind because I realized I had became conformed of the world. It says in the Bible, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I had become so conformed of the world
Yeah.
that I knew that I had to have a total mind transformation.
Yeah.
And that's the process I went through. I just started reading. I started feeding my spirit, feeding my mind,
Yeah.
the things that needed to be fed. So in order for me to change and have that transformation that I needed, I had to constantly pour the right things into my spirit, the right things into my mind, by reading the right books, reading things that was going to uplift me, reading a lot of self-help books, reading the Bible, reading the Word of God, constantly putting that in my spirit.
Mhm.
And that's how the transformation process started for me.
Yeah, I share all the time with clients and just friends that, um, you know, um, that positivity doesn't fire the synaptic pathways, and what I mean by that is we're either we're either motivated by inspiration or desperation. And
Right.
inspiration is motivation coming from the good things that happened in our past. But to create new synaptic pathways, new brain patterns, we literally have to go through struggle. And it's literally
Exactly.
negativity that makes those fire. And so a lot of times, I'll be a little bit of an asshole because I know what I'm doing, and just
Yeah.
tough love works. It fires the synaptic pathways when you make people feel a certain way because cortisol is what creates that. So it's just part of the coaching. And so I want to ask you, what was a struggle in your journey in when you're being reborn, like a specific struggle where you were just in it? Seth Godin calls it the dip, where you want to quit, where you want to check out. What was that struggle? What was your perception in that moment? And looks like Christ brought you through, but I
Yeah.
want to touch on that struggle real quick.
For me, the struggle was facing the fear of failure. A lot of people have preached on that subject, time and time again, facing your fears. And I think with me, even though I was going through this reborn process and reinvention process,
Hmm.
I was still afraid to fail.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I start this journey and I fail again? What if I fail? I don't want to go through that disappointment. I don't want to go through that heartbreak again. So I read a quote that said, fear, you either forget everything and run, or you will face everything and rise. So which one are you going to do, Kenyon? Are you going to forget everything and run again? Are you going to crawl back again and reverse and go back to the person that you used to be? Or are you going to face everything and rise? Are you going to come to every consequence, every situation, every trial and tribulation, whatever that you're faced with, and overcome it? So you have to make that decision. So I had to choose to make a decision to face everything and rise. Whatever comes up against me, you know what? I'm gonna face it head on, and I'm gonna rise above it. I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna overcome it. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. If failure is not an option, failure is not an option right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I was, like I said earlier, I was committed. I committed myself to being excellent.